Hi, I'm Trudy, and I'm the Webcam Therapist.
Hello, my name is Jay, and we're going to show you how the Webcam Therapist works. I'm disabled, and it's tough for me to get out of the house on any kind of regular basis, so this can be a helpful service for those who are living with chronic illness and disabilities. I'm going to place a call now to Trudy, the Webcam Therapist.
Hello. How easy is it to hook up?
It's pretty easy. The cord is fairly short, so you won't have much of an issue with dangling wires. It clips right to the top of the notebook screen. And I'm going to disconnect now so I can show you how to take a look at what the other person is seeing on the other end of the call.
Okay, we'll start in another minute then?
Sure. Now, as webcams have become increasingly popular, they've also become less expensive. Without getting into any brand names or products, there are many affordable choices available. If you have any questions or would like us to provide recommendations, you can email us at info@thewebcamtherapist.com. This camera is designed specifically to work with notebooks, and we'll show you a good option for a desktop computer in a few minutes. I paid $25 for this recently, and you can find a decent webcam for less than $50. Most of the cameras in that price range are just fine for this purpose. Many of these come with software on CD-ROM, but it's generally not necessary for our purposes. You probably do need to install some basics, but in this case you can plug this particular camera in and Windows will automatically install just enough software to enable basic functionality. We primarily use Skype as our video call program. First, let's set up the sound. This computer doesn't have a built-in microphone, so we needed to choose a webcam that had one, and most of them do. We'll click on Tools, Options, Sound Devices. At the top here, there's an icon that resembles a microphone for audio in. Click on the drop-down menu on the right and select Camera. Logitech mic, it's a Logitech camera. That will enable the person on the other end of the call to hear me on this end. The microphones on these types of webcams should work just fine with no problems for general conversation, but it is best if we try to speak as clearly as possible. It's also important to keep in mind that we should try to speak one at a time and do our best to avoid speaking over each other. The sound quality of the calls are probably comparable to cell phone connections, though some people say they're a little better. Next, I click on Video. We want to make sure that we have the box checked to enable Skype video. Then the Select Webcam area has a drop-down menu that allows you to select the webcam you have installed, whether it's an external one like this or a built-in webcam, which we see more and more of on the newer Windows computers. Click on the Test Webcam button and you'll see the monitor effect that the webcam provides. This is what the person on the other end of the call will see. It's best if there's enough light to be seen clearly, but there's no need for anyone to train any bright lights on themselves. The webcam settings button allows you to adjust the brightness, contrast, and so on at any time. This camera has a setting on the Advanced tab to allow for a low light boost, which is very helpful if you're not in a bright room, and there's an adjustable focus on the lens. Now that we've made the image a little easier for the person on the other end of the call, let's click Save to keep these settings. There are others you can experiment with, but for now let's call Trudy back.
Hello.
Hi. In order to allow Trudy to see me, I'm going to click here where it says Start My Video, which is at the top here between where it says Add Callers and Do More. There I am, and now I'm going to click Video in Windows so we can see Trudy fully on the screen.
On the Mac, you click on the webcam icon, which is third from the left on the bottom.
Okay, we disconnected the last call. I signed onto a Windows desktop computer now and started a new call. With Skype, you can be signed onto more than one computer at a time, but for those of you who are in households with more than one computer, it's probably best to only be signed into one at a time on the same Skype account. The computer I'm using now has a webcam that sits on top of the flat panel screen. This camera costs about $40, and it can either clip onto the flat panel or it can sit on top of the older style CRT monitors. Like the laptop, this computer is running Windows XP, so plugging the webcam in, installing it, and testing the camera is pretty much the same on this computer as on the laptop. There are some differences on the Macs, many of which have built-in webcams.
There is a different interface, but it's easy to work with. All of the necessary functions and options are available on the Skype Preferences menu.
Unlike MacBooks, Windows laptops often have fans on the bottom, so it's important to allow for air to flow. I'm using an accessory here that raises the bottom of the computer off the desktop and also allows us to place the laptop on my lap, which is otherwise actually not recommended as the bottom of the computer can get pretty warm. As I moved the computer from the desk to my lap, I can see in the small video window that serves as my monitor that I need to adjust the swivel on the webcam so Trudy can see me properly.
That's better. It's important for me to be able to see the person I'm on the call with.
That's right, and Trudy knows that I might be a little more comfortable if I'm able to adjust the position I'm in during the course of the call. Now I've been at the desk and I have the computer in my lap. Now I'm going to lay down, but we can keep the call going.
Yes, there are a variety of positions you can be in and still have a video call that works for both people.
I'm going to get in the bed, which is actually where I am most of the time. I can sit myself up in the bed. I can turn on my side. And I can also lay flat on my back and place the computer on top of me like so. Or raise my knees up this way. I don't know how many people out there do this, but I live with a laptop in my bed. With a router and wireless internet service, it does help me feel connected since I am bedridden and homebound most of the time. I do understand that some people have difficulty spending much time staring at a computer screen, but as time has gone on, the newer flat panel monitors and the screens you see on laptops have become much easier to view than some of the older CRT monitors were.
I believe that 30 minutes is an effective and appropriate amount of time for a therapy session using a video call program on the computer.
Well, you're the webcam therapist.
And I think this will offer assistance to help people cope with disabling chronic health conditions, especially since either one of us could be virtually anywhere where there's internet access. I've had video calls with people on the West Coast, in Europe, in at least half a dozen states, and of course that includes family and friends. The calls are certainly of a high enough quality and resolution for a therapy session to allow both parties to see and hear each other clearly and easily. The website is thewebcamtherapist.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.